Blue Jays offense continues to sputter on this road trip. Hey everyone, welcome into Long Ball. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Toronto Sun Blue Jays writer Rob Longley. And Rob, I feel like this is a video we've done numerous times over the last couple of seasons here, talking about the struggles of the Blue Jays offense, which right now is really struggling to drive in runners in scoring position. You wrote about it after last night's loss against the Texas Rangers. But what can the Blue Jays do at this point to turn that part around?
I don't know, Rob. The punchless offense has become a punch line, as I've been saying today. In fact, I think before the team boards their charter flight back home after tonight's game, they might want to go out on the bases to see if they've left anybody on them, because through the first two games of the series, they're 1 for 22 with runners in scoring position. And I don't know, man. I don't know how a team can be this inept. Consistently. I mean, they had the odd breakout game, but there's been so many lulls in the offense all season. I mean, last night was probably the worst example of it. They had leadoff doubles in each of the first two innings. I think they had runners on in scoring position in four of the first seven. They had runners on base in every inning but the third and the ninth, and they couldn't score a run. We can go back to the off season when it's pretty clear that they didn't do enough. They added Anthony Santander, and we're still waiting for him to turn up. But the first month of the season, they had George Springer surprise everybody and sort of carry the offense, and some surprise from Dalton Varsho, who isn't hitting for average, but at least he's hitting home runs. But there's just not enough consistency top to bottom in that batting order. And it's top heavy the wrong way. It's like the bottom of the order is the only part that's producing. And worst of all, they don't produce in critical situations. When they need that clutch hit, it just does not exist. And I don't know what you do to shake it up. I mean, you have to. There aren't many options. There aren't roster options. There aren't a whole lot of options down in Buffalo. It's just they've got to get better at hitting fastballs, because that seems to be one of the weaknesses. Opposing pitchers are barraging them with fastballs, but they've got to knuckle down and be able to produce. Otherwise, this mediocrity that they've shown all season is going to continue.
Yeah, it is really interesting. You talked about, the bottom of the order, and it seems as though they just haven't been able to get in sync. When the bottom of the order is going, the top of the order is not going. When the top of the order is going, they can't get driven in by the guys in the latter half. And the other thing that seemingly hasn't gotten synced up for a while is when the offense is going, the pitching is not very good. And then when the pitching is really good, like we've seen during this road trip, the offense hasn't been able to get the job done. Now, that is the secret formula, I think, for every team. If you could get it going at all times, you're going to win a lot of ball games. But as you mentioned, not a ton of choices here for John Schneider as far as the lineup goes. We've seen Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero, 1-2 in this lineup, essentially for pretty much the whole season. Rob, Dalton Varsho has moved up here. George Springer still sort of batting in that 4-5 area as Anthony Santander has been dropped down. But could you see potentially a move be made by John Schneider where maybe Vlad drops down in the order, or maybe they go with a different leadoff hitter just to shake up the energy, just the vibes a little bit?
I suppose you could, but the only really rationale for it right now is to shake it up, as you say, Rob, because there's nobody that strikes me as a logical leadoff hitter beyond Bo, and he hasn't been anywhere near consistent enough. Although he did get a leadoff double last night. I mean, would you put Ernie Clement up there? He seems to have a knack at getting on base, maybe, but that almost reeks of desperation. I don't know how far you'd want to drop Vlad, because he actually has been, although he hasn't been hitting for the power that most people would expect and want him to, at least he's getting on base a lot. Like, he's got a long streak of games on base now, 20 plus, and he is getting his hits. He's just not the dynamic hitter that the team leading kind of hitter that the Jays would have expected of him. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe when the team gets back home for a homestand that starts Thursday at the Rogers Center, that Schneider tries something. But I just don't know that there's a logical solution for the batting order right now, because as we've both mentioned here already today, Rob, the top of the order hasn't been consistent, and the bottom of it does flip flop, it seems. So, but shaking it up sometimes, that's what you got to do, because this road trip has been terrible in terms of offense. Through the first 5 games, 45 innings of baseball, they've scored 4 runs, and you hate to use all the negative words, but that is pretty pathetic.
Well, for as bad as things have been going for this Blue Jays team, somehow the rest of the American League hasn't been particularly good either, as the Blue Jays sit just 3 games back of a wild card spot. So, still plenty of season left to go. We'll see how it shakes out. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. For Rob Longley, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.